bees, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl Virgo Garden. If you don't know, now you know. Anything you need to know about little old me will be down below in the description box. You don't have to be a Virgo to watch this video. Hi my babies, hi. I hope everyone's doing well and swell. We about to go ahead and get into 11th grade, okay? It is very much needed, but before we get into the video, please do remember, until August 31st, you can get 10% off Queen Alchemy products when you enter the code in all caps, Black Queen 22, and until September 22nd, you can get 22% off of all Virgo Garden products when you enter in all caps for the code Virgo B-Day 22. It's hard to remember, y'all, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this video. So the first thing we're going to start off with is 10th grade summer going into 11th grade. So the only reason why I'm starting here is because this summer was very, very significant going into 11th grade and even the summer after 11th grade. So my next door neighbor, I told y'all he would have like cookouts and stuff for the 4th of July, because he would cut grass, which is a great idea for some people out there. Like, that man made bank off of cutting grass, made a whole landscaping business and everything off of it. So you have a customer appreciation 4th of July cookout. So he basically cut grass for most of the neighborhood, and it's a really big neighborhood to be cutting grass for all them different people. So everybody would come out, it would be popping, it'd be lit. He had music and crab legs and all this good food, hamburgers and hot dogs. Just, it was lit. He would play oldies but goodies. It was, you know, kid friendly. It was just, it was a family function, real talk. So my homegirl Cece had came over. Y'all know Cece. And my cousin Bria was there. And I think I actually kind of told y'all the story before. And I do remember we were standing at the green box. To anybody, okay, born before probably 1993, you know about the green box, all right? So that was like the meet up spot, the chill spot, meet me at the green box. So we was at the green box, it was dark, and I was smoking Black and Milds at that point. I had tried a cigarette, didn't like it, but I was smoking Black and Milds at that point, and then that's when we was over there chilling with my neighbor, and Cece was like, can I hit that Black and Mild? So it's like 5 dudes out there. But me, Cece, and Bria, we're spaced out. So I'm here, Cece's here, and Bria's there. But it's dudes in between us, though. So we passing everything around. I'm thinking it's a Black and Mild. But I noticed one of them didn't taste the same as the rest of it. And basically we ended up smoking weed. I didn't know I was smoking weed. That was my first time ever smoking weed. So then we go to my room. And we all high as fuck. Cece ass high as fuck, knocked out on my sister's bed. Bria on the phone with whatever dude she was talking to at the point in time, talking about, oh my God, I do believe I'm high. And I had a lawn chair in my room, and I'm sitting in the lawn chair, and I fell out the lawn chair. And my sister came in the room, and she was looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, it was just, like, me and Cece, we was mad close, though. Like, we used to, like, share beds together and everything. Matter of fact, I remember that particular time, she actually woke me up because she sleep wild and I sleep wild and I'm sleeping by the wall. And she elbowing my head into the damn wall and shit. So, yeah. It's the reason for me telling you that story. All of that's going to come back into play later on, trust me. But yeah, so my neighbor MP ended up getting us high. Okay. High as fuck. And we didn't know it. Well, I didn't know it. So I had this homegirl named Jessie, and I met her when I had first moved to my old city, and I met her in the 2nd grade, and we were best friends at the point in time. But, I mean, we were just best friends just because we hung out around each other a lot in school. That's the only reason why. But we never had no issue, you know, with each other. And we were close during the summer as well, and we used to talk on the phone. And she was like, oh, yeah, I gotta call my cousin back. So she clicks over, calls her cousin on 3-way, and all 3 of us on the phone. Her cousin is the dude. His name is Tay. Tay is my now ex-best friend. That is how I met him. On a 3-way over the summer with my homegirl Jessie. That's how I met him. That's her cousin, and she kept trying to hook us up. I don't know what he looked like, and I wasn't interested. But the thing about him, we used to talk on the phone every day, all day long, talk about everything under the sun, music, whatever. And then we used to argue about Remy Ma. He be like, Remy Ma whack, this, that, and the third. Like, shit just to piss me off, really. And like that's when our bond was solidified. And that's why it's so hard for either one of us, like, to walk away from the friendship, because we remember at that point in time how close we were, and then certain things we've gone through over the years. We always been there for each other. Growth. Okay, growth. So, me and him talking on the phone every day. He likes me, but I don't like him. He don't know what I look like. I don't know what he look like, okay? But he know that he liked me a lot. And he kept trying to holler at me, and I'll be like, nah, we're just friends, da 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 da. But my sister was dating this guy who we're gonna call Lettuce, and he had a little cousin. And he was like, oh, you should talk to my little cousin, who we're gonna call Brace Face. And I started talking to him on the phone every day too. So when I wasn't talking to my homeboy Tay, I was talking to Brace Face. But I liked Brace Face, and Brace Face liked me. So we ended up deciding that we were going to go together. So I'm all excited, and I'm talking to Tay on the phone, and I'm like, yeah, guess what? He was like, what? I was like, I got a boyfriend. Now, the only boyfriend I ever had before then was Lou. So I'm excited because I'm thinking this is going to be a healthy relationship. This is going to be good for me. I'm not thinking this is the person I'm going to get married to, this, that, and the third. I'm a type of person that is right now, this is an experience, and I'm just going to try my best to enjoy it. So I'm thinking he's going to be excited, and he wasn't. He was mad. He cussed me out. That's why I'm talking to somebody else anyway. Okay, but we're not talking. Why did you have it? I don't know why dudes do that with me. They're very possessive, and they be thinking in their head we go together when we don't. Okay, and I made it very clear we don't. But he ended up talking to this girl who tried to kill herself when he tried to break up with her months and months later. And yeah, that was some crazy shit. But he was mad at me, and he stopped talking to me for a minute. Yeah, he stopped talking to me for like years. Okay, years. Like, that ended our friendship. That, like, real talk, that shit ended our friendship. He was, like, really mad. He was like, oh, you tried to play me for Brace Face, and I'm over here talking to you every day, giving you my time. And I don't know why he felt like I was trying to play him, and I wasn't. I made it very clear we were friends. But he was jealous because I had a boyfriend, and he stopped talking to me. Like I said, I had a boyfriend, but I didn't know what he looked like, right? But I just had a feeling he was ugly. And the same thing, I told Tay the same thing. I was like, I got a feeling you ugly, in fact. We're going to leave that one alone. So, I had a feeling he was ugly. But I'm like, I just hope he got some type of cuteness to him, right? Right. So, I knew Lettuce, though. I've been around Lettuce. I done rode in Lettuce's car. That was the homie. Like, he's dating my sister. So, my mom was at work. My grandma was somewhere away for vacation. And my uncle was also staying with us. So, like, I never had privacy growing up. Somebody was always living with us. Couldn't go in the living room. Couldn't go in the den because somebody living in there. So, I didn't have any space. I didn't have any privacy, okay? So, my uncle was at work. So, me and my sister were the only ones there. So, my sister with her slick ass called her boyfriend over. And he was like, oh, man, guess what? I got Brace Face with me right now. I'm going to bring him over there so they can meet. So Lettuce, Brace Face, and their cousin ended up coming over. So we all chilling in the living room. Brace Face is not cute at all. But one thing I will say about him, he got some pretty ass skin. Oh, my God. He got that real deep chocolate. Okay, that deep, dark chocolate where it glows. Oh, y'all know what I'm talking about. And it's smooth, no pimples, no blemishes, nothing. And whoo, his skin is so beautiful. But his face, not so much. Now, okay, listen, I'm being nice. I swear to God, I'm being nice. So, I am not a person who dates for surface stuff. You make me laugh. You keep my interest. It's hard to keep my interest, especially with dating. So, I was going to stay in the relationship with him. Which I shouldn't, but I did. So, he was a virgin. I didn't know that at the point in time. But I was a virgin too, and he kept trying to pressure me to have sex, and I didn't want to have sex. So, his thing was kissing, and he liked to leave hickeys, okay? He liked to leave hickeys. So, my sister ended up leaving. because she said she was going to go get her hair done. But before she left, me and Braceface had went to my room and we closed the door. But we weren't doing anything like that. I let him know, get off me, boy. That's not what we doing. So that's when he was like, okay, well, we just going to kiss. And he ended up putting a hickey on my neck. But it wasn't a big hickey, but it was noticeable, though. And my sister came back there. She was like, hey, Nee, me and my homegirl, we about to go to the hair store, da-da-da-da. My sister was into wearing weave. So my sister leaves, and she was like, Lettuce and the cousin still up front. I was like, okay. So me and him back there talking about our relationship and kind of what we expected of relationship. You know, beginning relationship type conversations. And, yeah, my mom called me. And she was like, Nina, where are you? And I was like, Mom, I'm at home. And she was like, are you at home by yourself? And I was like, no, Braceface, Lettuce, and their cousin is here. I am the child that tells the truth. Now, I didn't know it was a rule, no boys when we not there. I didn't know that was a rule. Like, okay, I didn't know. I'm sorry. So apparently I broke a rule that I didn't know of, but she was mad at my sister. She wasn't even mad at me because she was like, your sister left you there by yourself with 3 guys that I don't know like that. I know Lettuce, but I don't know the other 2. My mama was heated. I guarantee you she came flying home. She also called my father, who stayed 7 minutes from where I used to live and grew up at. And he came, but he kept circling around the block. He didn't come in. So by the time they left, my mom comes home. She's heated. I'm there by myself. She looking through the house. Where they at with it? They're not here, Mom. They left. They heard how mad you were. They peeled. What you mean? Like, I thought it was okay. My bad. And all I know is my dad, because he has in his mind, because all he thinks about is sex, that's what his daughters are thinking about. And he started inspecting me for hickeys. And he found one right here. Yeah. Disappointed. So automatically he think I'm having sex and I'm not. My mama done set me down and had the birds and the bee talk with me because she was like, apparently you're having sex. I'm not having sex, Mom. She was like, well, how you get the hickey? I said, we was kissing. He started kissing on my neck and he put a hickey on my neck and I told him stop. So we end up having the sex talk and now my parents don't trust me. Yeah. Me who was getting molested by 5 family members, right? And they don't trust me. So then the school year starts. I'm all excited. I'm going back to school. I got me a boo. Da 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 da. Oh, the day before school, he calls me that night. We're having a conversation. And before we get off the phone, because you know, you got to be off the phone at a certain time. At least back in the day, that's how it was when we had real parents. And he calls me. And we're having a conversation. And right before we get off the phone, he was like, yeah, so about school. I'm like, yeah, ain't you excited? It's the first day and this, that, and the third and da-da-da-da. He started running down rules for me. I can't wear basically provocative clothing. I can't have any guy friends. Now, any person I have ever dated from the first one to currently, okay, I let them know I have a lot of male friends. If you are uncomfortable with that, then maybe we shouldn't date. Okay, because I'm not going to change how my life is when you coming into it asking to be a part of it. All right, so he knows this, but apparently they think I'm playing when I say it, and then they realize, okay, wait, she do got a lot of male friends. Cause I don't ever really hear her say she hanging out with her homegirls. It's always her homeboys, or she talking to one of her homeboys or something. Okay, yeah, I tell you the truth. So he apparently was uncomfortable and insecure, and I wasn't allowed to have homeboys. Basically, he wanted me to make more female friends. So that was my focus for the year going into school. Also, he lived in another city, so he was insecure about that because he couldn't just, walk up on the school or whatever. And also, he was an alleged blood. We're going to say alleged because, yeah. And also, his sister, his older sister, went to the school with him. She's popular and he's not. I'm in between, okay? But yeah, like he wasn't popular like at all. The only reason why anybody even knew him is because of who his sister was. So he had a lot of insecurities. So I started hanging out with more girls, like I said, and the girls from my neighborhood at that. And so I started hanging out with girls we're going to call. I already told y'all about Jessie, but I started hanging out with Megan, Don, who's Jesse's sister, and a girl we're gonna call Jaraggedy. Okay, we're gonna call that bitch Jaraggedy. And yes, what I did not know was that Megan and Don were two of the school's biggest hoes. So between them, a couple of other friends, and that girl, what did I name her? Lele, I think. Yeah, I went to the clinic across the street from the school quite a few times, 11th and 12th grade, well, 11th grade year, 10th and 11th grade year. I went across the street to that clinic a lot of times with people to find out if they were pregnant or not. And then a few of them did have some abortions. And sometimes they kept it, sometimes they got an abortion. I don't know, that's their life, honey. So yeah, I was the friend that was the emotional support friend that everybody wanted to go with them to the clinic to find out if they were pregnant or not. Because when you're 16, you don't need an adult to go with you to the free clinic in Virginia. I don't know if it's like that everywhere else, but them hoes knew that though, okay? And then another sad thing is, they all used to talk shit about each other and they was all fucking the same dudes. Yeah. Correct. So it's the beginning of the school year and everybody knows school starts in September, and me and Cece's birthday is in September. So she actually went to another high school because that's where we were zoned. But we always tried to do something at least together for our birthdays, or at least tried to exchange gifts for our birthdays when we were in high school. Just because we in different schools, she's still my best friend. So she had a bowling party, and I took Bria with me because I'm like, I think Bria and Cece would click. I was wrong, but you'll find out about that later on. So we go into the bowling alley. I'm excited. I'm like, I'm out the house, away from my mama and my family. And she has like different friends from school and some of her cousins and her boyfriend. Oh, she keep a boyfriend, okay? She keeps a boyfriend. So her boyfriend has a car. Her mama was there. I'm watching them play and they bowling and stuff. Because we kind of came at the end and they're like, oh, we about to go to the movie theater. Okay, cool. Let's go. So the movie we were trying to go see, well, the only people that were old enough to go see it was Cece's boyfriend and my cousin Bria. So movie theater was out. And then on top of that, when we left from the bowling alley, we all rode in her boyfriend's car. Now, thank God her boyfriend had an old school car. So that's when 3 people could sit in the front seat. Them old school back in the day ones. So Cece was sitting in the passenger. Bria was sitting in between them. And of course, her boyfriend was driving. I'm sitting in the back on somebody's lap. Somebody else is sitting in between us. Somebody else is back there. Her cousin and her cousin's boyfriend. So me and her cousin are both sitting on somebody's lap. So we're talking about 5 people in the back seat, 3 people in the front seat, and we riding around. And then every time we see the police, me and the cousin got to duck down because we not supposed to be in the... Okay, like, look here. Okay, you want to talk about doing shit we were not supposed to be doing? So the movie theater didn't work. So they was like, fuck it, let's just go get some weed and let's go roll up. So that's what we did. So we went and got the weed. They went and got the roll-ups. And we ended up going out the hood to an abandoned house to Cece's cousin's boyfriend's old house that they just moved out of, that no one was living in. I think they said it got condemned. Yeah, so we're in the dark, no electricity. I'm using my lighter so they could see, so they could roll up. I held the lighter too long. That shit popped, so we didn't have a lighter. So we had to go outside to roll up. So then we finally got 1 blunt for 8 people. Who's getting high? Nobody. Okay, nobody. And then on top of that, we're sitting on the floor, on the carpet, and it's fleas fucking biting us. I said, I'm ready to get the fuck up out of this house. So by the time I say that, that's when we realized that Cece's cousin and Cece's boyfriend are both gone. Not only are they both gone, Cece's boyfriend car is also gone. This nigga talking about he about to shoot somebody. I ain't never seen nobody get shot at that point in time. So I was enthralled. Okay, I was enthralled. But he ended up getting his car back. And I'm like, gracious, I hope my birthday get together don't be having no drama like this. So my birthday get together was actually on my actual birthday. Cece's was over the weekend. Mine was on my actual birthday. And our birthday was actually in the middle of the week. So everybody couldn't come because it was a school night. But it was after school. And I think it ended like 8:30, something like that. My mom wanted it to end like at a, school night friendly time. But she just cooked some of my favorite food, and I just invited people that I fuck with over. And we was just laughing and having a good time. And everybody came that I really wanted to come except for one person. Braceface. He did not want to come. He doesn't like being around people. He don't want to be getting asked a whole bunch of questions. I don't want a whole bunch of people in my face. On top of the fact that he already know that they know about the hickey, so they was ready to tear into his ass anyway. Okay? So, yeah, he didn't come, and I felt like my birthday was ruined. I didn't enjoy my birthday party. Because I allowed him to have that power. So, I remember Bria was like, let's all go outside and walk around. We're walking. It starts raining. I'm like, we should go back. No, let's keep walking. Everybody got sick. So, at this point in time, my cousin, AG, he was in the army. And he's one of the ones that molested me. He's actually the one that did the worst to me. He was in the army. And he came back into town. We hadn't seen him in a while. So everybody was excited. So we ended up accidentally having a sleepover. So at this point in time in my life, I went through this phase where I just kept having random sleepovers at my house. Like, it was accidental, but like everybody be having such a good time. Didn't nobody want to leave. So they're like, can I sleep over? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And like that happened a lot. Okay, that happened. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, I had some bomb ass sleepovers. That happened a lot. So my sister actually had friends at the point in time. So some of her friends ended up staying over. One of them in particular, I don't have a nickname for her right now, but she was cheating on her husband. So she needed like a little getaway spot. And then, I know. And then, of course, my cousin AG was there, who's also Bria's brother. So Bria was there. Then my two little cousins was there, and then my cousin, we'll call Stone, was there as well. Because I think at this particular time, he was actually there because he was doing probation, and I think he was on house arrest too, I'm not sure. But he had to stay in Virginia because he actually lives in another state. And so he was there too. Plus my uncle's living in the den, my mom's in her room, like it was a lot of people up in that bitch, okay? It was a lot of people up in that bitch. And I remember I got beat because they found out I had a hickey on my neck. Like my cousins actually took a belt out, pinned me down, and beat me with a belt. And then when my uncle came in the room to ask a question, they pushed me in the floor. Yeah, we was goofy. I do have good memories with my cousin. So another sleepover that I had, it was my cousin Stone was still there. He was still sleeping in the living room. And my cousin Bria, she was actually living there at the point in time because she ended up getting a job at a mall like 10 minutes from my house. So she ended up living there. And then the girl Megan from school, me and her ended up becoming really close because we had an art class, I think, in 10th grade together. And that's how we ended up becoming friends. So she wanted to sleep over because her mama basically said, you need to find somewhere to go this weekend. Meaning get the fuck out for the weekend. Yeah. That's how I ended up with so many needy friends because, like, their parents really treated them like shit. Like, for real. So, I let her stay the weekend, and we ordered pizza. We all having fun, but this hoe keep flirting with my goddamn cousin Stone. And I'm like, this bitch don't go ahead somewhere, okay? Go ahead now. Now, the problem is, Braceface was supposed to come over so everyone could meet him. He told me he was coming. I'm coming on Sunday. Because I'm like, you're supposed to come Saturday so you can meet Megan and you ain't come. Then here it is Sunday. You keep giving me excuses all day long. Then he's on Sunday, I got ballerina court. And I fell for it. Didn't even know what ballerina court was. So when I went and told everybody he can't come because he got ballerina court, my homegirl was like, no, actually it was my cousin Bria. She was like, today's Sunday, the courts are closed. And then my cousin Stone was like, ain't no such thing as no damn ballerina court. So yeah, I realized, oh, this nigga's a liar. Okay, bet. So I felt played again because I'm basically saying I have a boyfriend who is acting like he's invisible or acting like he don't want to claim me is kind of what it felt like, which comes from hurts and pains with my father. My inner child was already damaged. So Braceface just added on more to it. And he's a Cancer, by the way. So, like I said, my cousin Bria was living with us, and me and her did not used to get along, especially when we were teenagers. We was like cats and dogs. Good God, we were. But it was a jealousy thing, and I didn't realize that until, of course, now. So she would sleep on the floor, and she always wanted to sleep in my bed. No, you're not special. She actually got mad when Cece had spent the night over the summer when we had got high, and I let her sleep in the bed with me. And she was like, you let Cece sleep in the bed? Okay, Cece my best friend. You're not my best friend, okay? I got a twin bed, okay? No. Sleep your ass on this floor, okay? Ain't nobody tell you move in anyway. So, she was working her job at the mall. She ended up getting a boyfriend. We're going to call Tar Baby, because that's what she used to call him. And I just remember her just being hell to live with, all honesty. She used to steal stuff. She used to throw our stuff away. Like, I remember one time I went in the trash can because my intuition just told me go in the trash can. I go to the bottom of the trash can, and my sister's, like, gold necklaces, real gold necklaces and stuff, is in the bottom of the trash can. And I'm like, did you throw this away? And she was like, nah. And then I remember another time she got mad at me because I accidentally broke her headphones because they was on the floor and I stepped on them. And then she left all her shit in the floor, so I just took all of it and just put it in a pile in the corner. And she was mad, you threw my good flat iron. Fuck your flat iron, okay? Fuck your flat iron. Go get you a $20 one like everybody else, all right? And then the most trifling shit somebody has ever done to me that I can remember as far as right now, this bitch stole my drawers. Not one, but 2 pairs. Not only did she steal them, she was rushing out to work, so she forgot to hide the fact that she stole my drawers and left them in the middle of the floor. And I went to go push her shit out in the middle of the floor, and I look inside her pajamas, because, I mean, they was open, because she literally took them off and left them right there on the floor. My drawers is covered with blood. When I say covered with blood, I mean the whole seat is filled with blood, y'all. The whole seat of the drawers is filled with blood, y'all. I was pissed. Oh, I was pissed. I was heated. Ooh, I was 2 pairs, bro, like that. I'm like, bitch, did you get bit by a shark? Like, why you got this much blood in your goddamn drawers? So I was like, oh, I came on my period. You ain't asked, so you went in my drawer, took out my drawer, picked which pairs you wanted. Like, the trust was broken. Okay, the trust was fucking broken. Period, boo. And then on top of that, I remember me and my sister got in a fight one time because she tried to sneak out a window that was broken. I tried to tell her that window's broken. When you open it, it's going to slam up instead of coming down. This shit going to go up. And I said, it's going to make a loud noise and you're going to get caught and we're going to get in trouble. So I tried to help her sneak out. Of course, the window made a noise, but nobody came in the room. She was trying to sneak out to go see one of my schoolmates. I'm not going to call him a homeboy. We're going to call him Boss. Okay? He was really, really popular. And they, I think, even still to this day, still got some type of friendship or something. But she used to date him. Then she used to date one of my homeboys named Trail. Then she used to date one of my homeboys named Lamar. Then she used to talk to one of my homeboys named CJ, who was going through it. And that's why I was talking to him every day. Because his mama was a crackhead. And that boy out there selling crack and basically fending for himself. So he needs somebody to talk to. And you sitting there playing with him because you can. Like, that shit was fucked up. He stopped talking to me after that, too. And then it was somebody else she used to talk to. I don't know. I just know it was a whole bunch of motherfucking people. Okay? And one of my neighbors saw her getting hair from one of my homeboys. I ain't gonna say which one it was, though, that I named. But it was like, it's just too much. Oh, and then she claimed she stole somebody from me. But you didn't steal somebody I didn't want. I was already done playing with that. It was somebody I was talking to that didn't even live out here. He stayed like 2 hours from here. And basically, I was just bored with him. And I just would talk to him when I was bored. And she picked up on it. And she intervened in our conversation. And that next thing I know, they done exchanged numbers. And she talking to him every night now. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, cool. Thanks for taking him off my hands. Appreciate you. Because he ugly anyway. So me and Braceface have been dating for 3 months. And apparently, to him, the 3-month rule was over with. But I didn't know that he did not communicate that to me. He felt like 3 months was long enough, apparently. So he was like, I want to spend some time with you because since school has started, we haven't been seeing each other. I'm like, okay, cool. So the plan was we're going to skip school together. And we're going to, so we concocted this plan, me, him, and letters. And so the day came. and I did it. I skipped school. So what happened was I went to the bus stop. Letters came and picked me up because our high schools had like the same times and everything. So Letters came and picked me up from the bus stop, and then he went and dropped me off over there at Braceface house. Braceface told his mom that he was sick, so he didn't get to go to school, so he was home by himself. So it was me, him, and the dog Coco. And I didn't like the dog Coco because he treated Coco better than he treated me. Okay? So we were just like chilling in the living room, really. We weren't doing anything per se. But we was chilling in the living room. I do remember we were listening to music. That's when the chicken noodle soup song was out. So we was doing the chicken noodle soup. And I remember his granddad bought us some McDonald's because I really like the McDonald's, the little double cheeseburgers with the little minced onions. Oh, I used to fuck them shits up. And then also, he attempted to try to convince me to have sex with him. And how he did it was he gave me head. And I never had head before. And I knew he was going to do it. I was excited about it. I actually shaved my poom poom. Okay, that's the first time I shaved my poom poom, and I was nervous. I hadn't seen it bald in years, so I was like, oh God, it's bald. Okay, it's bald. And I told my cousin Bree about it. And I was like, yeah, I shaved my poom poom because, you know, Braceface said he gonna give me some hair. This heifer tries to copy me because she always was trying to copy me when we were younger, and done cut her goddamn vagina. I said, see, you shouldn't have did that shit. You shouldn't have did that shit. But so he did it, and because he has braces, it hurts. Like, it felt good a little bit, but it hurt more than it felt good, and I told him to stop. It was horrible. So then he ended up getting an attitude with me because he found out he wasn't gonna get no pussy. And yeah, he was mad. Big mad. So Letters comes and picks me up, drops me back off at the bus stop when I'm supposed to be coming home from school. I go home like everything's normal. And my sister come in the room and she was like, so you won't gonna tell me? I was like, tell you what? She was like, that you lost your virginity. I was like, I ain't lose my virginity. I'm still a virgin. She said, that ain't what Letters told me. I was like, what you talking about? Come to find out, Braceface was embarrassed because I didn't give him some. So he lied and told Letters that I did. Who lies on their girlfriend's vagina? Because he's mad because he's still a virgin, but he didn't want to tell me he was a virgin, but I figured it out. He was still a virgin, so he was just trying to have sex so he could say he's not a virgin anymore. He didn't give a fuck about my feelings, didn't give a fuck about how I felt, and this eventually led to the demise of our relationship. So I noticed over like the next few months, he was acting funny. We weren't talking on the phone as much as we used to. He didn't want to see me as much as he used to. I actually went over to his house around Christmas time to meet his mother and his family, and they were cool, but I was uncomfortable. All honesty, I was uncomfortable. And I do remember we was in his room upstairs because she said we could go to his room, and he had all over his wall all these posters of was it Buffy the Bodybuilder? Oh my goodness, just ass cheeks everywhere, whole wall covered. I tried to rip, I got one down. I was trying to rip him down. His mom was like, get him down, rip him down, rip him down. He was like, leave my wall alone. But no, why you got all this ass up here on the wall? Like, you have a problem, okay? You have a problem. But his mom did let us go. I think it was to his sister's room. And she said we could leave the door open because he didn't have a TV in his room. So we was in his sister's room, and I remember we started feeling on each other, and he let me feel his dick. And that's the first time I ever felt a dick. And I remember it was smooth, and it was silky, and it was big. He had a beautiful dick, but I didn't get to do nothing with it. I didn't lick it, nothing. I just touched it. And you're lying telling people that we're having sex. Yeah, I was pissed. I was pissed. But even after Christmas, after meeting the family, thinking, oh, things are cool, it was right before Valentine's Day he broke up with me. After we done bought gifts and everything, he broke up with me because I wouldn't have sex with him. So that added more to my inner child problems, more to my root chakra problems, more to my solar plexus problems, more to my sacral chakra problems, because it made me feel like I wasn't good enough. Because once again, I have another man abandoning me. And it made me feel like I was not good enough. Yeah. So I remember I was like really hurt after that. And I had made up my mind. I said, I don't want another boyfriend for a while until, you know, basically I get my shit together and I figure out who I am and what I want to do and this, that, and the third. So I had made up my mind, no more boyfriends. Okay, and I meant it. So I forgot a part. Before me and Braceface had broke up, I think it was January. Me and his best friend ended up getting into no, it was before. It was the beginning part of December, I remember. Because it was before I went over his family house to meet his family. And me and one of his best friends had actually got into an argument, because come to find out, the best friend is the cousin to the blood nigga that my ex-boyfriend Lou got in a fight with and beat up. So the best friend was pissed, and he was like, oh, your ex did this and did that, and we gonna handle that nigga, and this, that, and the third, talking shit to me about somebody I'm not even in a relationship with. It's bad enough I already went through everything that I went through with the people in my school, the people in my neighborhood being mad at me, people threatening me, this, that, and the third, because they're mad because my now ex beat up a blood nigga from my neighborhood. Now I got to deal with my now current boyfriend's best friend mad because his cousin got beat up by my ex. Like, I'm like, this shit is ridiculous. So I started popping shit back. Fuck you, fuck the Bloods, fuck the, okay, like, fuck all that shit, okay? And I'm friends and I'm cool with Bloods. But I'm like, fuck all that shit. You're not going to be talking to me and barking at me crazy. So when I did go over to his family house to meet them, his friends came over. And I thought I was meeting his best friend, but come to find out, I actually met somebody else. But I remember he had an attitude. And he actually left me in the house with his family for like close to an hour. And his mom was like, where is he at? And it was in the backyard smoking weed. That's what they was doing. Like, damn, I want to join the party, okay? I also forgot another story about Braceface, and I don't know how I forgot this one, because this is what he's notorious for. In my household, yeah, this is what he was known for. So, like I told y'all, he liked to put hickeys on me, and I didn't understand why, but it was his way of claiming his territory, letting guys know she belonged to somebody, don't try to holler at her, basically. So, I remember I had this teacher named Mr. Neal, and he taught my sister too. So the fact that he got to teach both of us, and I think he was one out of the two teachers that got to teach both of us. And he was really excited about it because he was like, your sister was such a great student. And I was too. I didn't skip his class. I would come, I do the schoolwork. I got either an A or a B in that class. I can't remember. But I know I got a good grade though. I know it was an honor roll grade. But he had gave us this speech, and I respected him so much. Everybody respected him because he actually listened to us. He actually gave a fuck about us. And I remember he gave this amazing speech one Friday afternoon when I was dating Braceface. And he was basically talking about abstinence and why you should wait and why you shouldn't have sex and why you should value yourself and how important it is to value yourself. And this, that, and the third. Basically, like, it made everybody, the people who was having sex, like, even they was, like, thinking about, like, damn, maybe I shouldn't be having sex. And, like, the people who weren't having sex, we was like, damn, I'm glad I ain't having sex. Because what he said made sense. Like, you need to wait. You too young. Like, figure out who you are, this, that, and the third. He gave an amazing speech. Tell me why Braceface comes over that Sunday. And Granny was at church. Mama was at work. I don't know where the fuck my sister was, but I know my uncle was at work. But my sister had to be there. But I remember we was in the living room and we was kissing. And he wanted me to give him some and I wouldn't. And he was jealous because I was popular at my high school. And he didn't want nobody to have me. When I say this boy put the biggest hickey on me I've ever had in my life. I fucking lied to you not. Okay? I lied to you not. That hickey was this goddamn big. I lied to you not. That shit was this goddamn big, bruh. And it was black and purple and red and burgundy all at the same time. It was black at first. The whole shit was black. The whole shit was black at first. Then it turned purple. I kept putting ice on that shit. I was like, I cannot believe you did this bullshit. Why would you do that? I'm putting ice on it. Oh my God, y'all. By the time I'm done putting ice on it, it was a dark burgundy color. But it was like dark purple for a little while, but it was like a dark burgundy color. But I'm sitting here trying to get the hickey off. Grandma come home, I'm hiding it. Mama come home, I'm hiding it. I'm looking at him like, you might want to call a ride. Okay, you might want to call a ride, boo. So we sitting there, we talking, and I got into the conversation with my mama. And I forgot about that hickey on my neck. I would make sure the whole time I was turned this way. And I was talking to her. And I forgot, and I fucking turned, and she seen that shit. She said, Nina, what is that on your neck? Granny in the kitchen cooking, okay? The way the old house was set up, you come through the door. It's the den here. The kitchen is here. The dining room and the living room is right there at the door. So you can make a left and go into the living room, or you can make a right and go into the dining room. And from the dining room, you can go into the kitchen. From the kitchen, you can go into the den and come back to the hallway where the main door is at. My mama said, "What is that on your neck?" He was in the living room trying to call his ride anyway. She seen that shit. My grandma didn't say shit to me. My grandma came out the kitchen. We was in the den. She went through the dining room, through the hallway, and went into the living room and fussed that boy out for dear life. I ain't never heard my grandma fuss at somebody that she was not related to like that. She said, "Don't you do that no more. She is not your little sex toy. Don't be sitting there." Oh, she was going in on that boy. He didn't say shit to me. That boy walked out the house, walked down the block, and sat on the curb across the street. I said, he don't even want to sit on the curb on the same side of the street. I had to go out the house, walk down there, and convince the boy to at least come and sit on the porch. Okay? To at least come and sit on the porch. He ain't even want to do that, but he did eventually. And then his ride came and got him. Biggest hickey, that shit hurt so bad. And it was a bump in the middle of it. Because he had braces. So like he was chomping at the... I don't know. That shit hurt though. It wouldn't have been that bad in my house, but I had to go to school. And I had Mr. Neal's class 4th block Monday. And I was trying to have that shit all day. And people were like, "Nina, what's that on your neck?" I said, "I burnt myself with the curling iron." Shut up. Okay? Shut up. Shit. I know. That shit, y'all, that shit was huge. Okay? That shit was like this big. I remember still, the bump was right there. I remember where that shit hurt at. That shit hurt right there. I remember that shit. That shit was huge. And it was black and it was purple. And by the time I went to school, it was like dark red burgundy-ish. But it was still this motherfucking big, bro. They're like, "Nina, what happened to your neck?" I burnt myself with a curling iron. We get to Mr. Neal's class. I'm trying to hide it. I'm turning in papers like this. Like, I'm walking. He always stood at the door. He always said something positive to us when we was leaving out. Like, "Nina, what's that on your neck?" I said, "I burnt myself with the curling iron, Mr. Neal." He said, "Yeah, right, the curling iron." And I was just so embarrassed. I was so ashamed. It's only been one other person that has put hickeys on me since then. And he did it for the same reason. Trying to claim his territory, which was my twin flame. Which y'all gonna find out about soon enough, okay? But, yeah. That turned me off from hickeys. I don't like them. Don't do it. I don't give a fuck. I don't want it where it can be seen or not seen. Because that is a trigger a little bit. It is. And doing these couch talks is helping me heal and release and realize certain things I didn't that I need to focus on healing. And that's why I don't like hickeys. Because it's a possessive thing. You belong to me. It's an abusive thing to me. That's how I look at it. Even though it's a form of sexual expression or the result of a form of sexual expression, because of that situation, and I knew why he was doing it, and then to the lengths he was doing it, okay, he was doing big dark hickeys on purpose. I just don't like him no more. Like, I can't. So this is a part of definitely how my inner child was getting affected, okay? Because I was already in the mindset of I need to hang with more females. Even though I was single second semester, I was still hanging out with more females. And like I said, me and Megan had become really close. So I was hanging out with her and her friends and stuff. And so they decided to start another rumor about me. So 9th grade, I was a hoe. 10th grade, they said I was a crackhead because I lost a whole bunch of weight. So 11th grade, because I'm hanging around a whole bunch of girls, guess what they said? I'm a dyke. And they said I was a dyke. I was like, wow. Wow, like these people will stop at nothing. Second semester, I ended up taking Spanish 2. So, because yeah, Spanish 1, I ended up meeting St. Clair. And then Spanish 2, I ended up becoming friends with some people we're going to call Lena, Ken, and Novi. So we used to sit together in a little group in Spanish class. It was accidental. We just kind of naturally formed that group. And we would help each other. We weren't study buddies. We were more like cheat sheet buddies. Okay, don't judge us. We would have, listen, I was the queen of cheat sheets. in Spanish class. My cheat sheet be that goddamn big. I got all the answers to the quiz on this shit. I had all the answers up there. All the answers. They're like, Nina, let me see it. And I passed it to them. Like, you just gotta sneak it and look real quick and, you know, and make sure it's the right answer, okay? We was Gucci. Because one person didn't know the answer. Somebody else knew the answer. Like, who got the answer number 16? What is it? It's B. Okay, cool. Like, yo, we had each other's back, right? So, I didn't mean to, but I kind of developed a crush on Novi. Novi, he was kind of popular. He ended up becoming more popular at the end of 11th grade, 12th grade year. And I don't know why I liked him, to be quite honest with you. He ain't that cute. His personality wasn't that great. He was a jock. He was a copycat. He was whack. Like, but I guess I just convinced myself in my mind, oh, he's a nice guy, so I like him. Because I want to date a nice guy. I keep dating assholes. So I remember somebody dared me in the cafeteria one day. They was like, truth or dare? And I was like, dare. And they was like, I dare you to go over there and tell Novi that you got a crush on him. So I went over there and I sat down. They were like, what's up, Nina? I was like, I got a crush on you. And got up and walked off. And one of his homeboys was like, well, if he get the fuck, I get the fuck too. No, you definitely don't. Okay? He didn't know it was a truth or dare. And that's why I went over there. He also didn't know that crush wasn't that damn deep. Like, I just like flirting with you in school. That's it. Like, I won't think about you when I went home, this, that, and the third. Okay? So he took it deeper than what he was supposed to. And also, he had a girlfriend. I didn't know he had a girlfriend. Who also was in our Spanish class, by the way. She mad because she found out that I have a crush on him. Which, I mean, I did like the boy, but it definitely won't that damn deep. I won't think of no relationship or no shit like that. So then all of a sudden, that's when the rumors about me being a dyke started spreading, I noticed. And then all of a sudden, people are treating me different. People are whispering about me. People are talking about me because they both were in band, I think. So they were really popular. It was just like a hate group formed of We Don't Fuck With Nina. I actually heard one of the downtown girls that didn't like me since 9th grade, the one that went and told Lou Thompson, don't talk to her, she a hoe. And Lou was like, nah, she not no hoe, I know her. Yeah, she actually was talking to somebody and somebody was like, I don't like her. And she was like, girl, join the club. It's a whole bunch of us that don't like her. Like, that's the type of shit I had to deal with in high school and still deal with to this day. That's why it's important for me to do these couch talks. So I can St. Clair, the one who I almost got into the fight with, the girl who mushed me in the face. She was talking to this older guy, like in his early 20s. And he stayed with his mama and stuff. And he was like a promoter or something, like a party promoter. So like he would pass out flyers and that's how he got paid. So she was leaving school and she needed somebody to come with her because he had a friend. Well, I didn't want to go to my class, so I was like, I'll come just as long as them niggas know I'm not fucking. And she was like, okay, cool. So when I got in the car, I made it very clear. I said, I'm not fucking. And everybody was like, that's cool. Like, that's straight. I bet. Then let's pull off. So we pull off. He's going from place to place, passing out the flyers. Then we go to his crib. So me, him, St. Clair, and his homeboy, we all get out. But we was riding around smoking. So by the time we get to his mom's crib, I'm high as fuck. And I mean high as fuck. You remember when Cat Williams did that joke? And he was like, he smoked some weed and they had him stuck looking at the refrigerator for like 6 hours sitting on the stove.
I'm used to smoking some weed and getting the munchies. This nigga sold me some shit, had me looking at the refrigerator for 3 hours. I'm just in the kitchen, sitting on the stove. Just... I bet you it ain't shit in there, nigga. I bet you. All I'm saying is, you know the weed is too strong when you can't do shit but hit it and look at it. You just in your house, just, nigga, something in there, nigga, something in there.
Yeah, I smoked that type of shit. I ain't never had no weed like that in my life. They had me legit stuck in space, like that. So it was crazy. So when my brain ain't functioning and I'm really not at full mental capacity to be able to progress things or process things, actually. So by the time we get there, I'm high as fuck. Me and her go upstairs to her boyfriend's room, and they on the computer downstairs in the front office. So we talking and stuff, and she was like, I really like him, and this, that, and the third. And she was like, do you like his friend? I was like, no. And then on top of that, I know him. She was like, you know his friend? I was like, yeah, he works with my sister at Walmart. So I was popular at Walmart because everybody knew I was my sister's little sister. So her co-workers knew me and stuff. Like, they would see me out in public. They come over, say hi to me, this, that, and the third. Because they thought I was a cool-ass person. I'd be making them laugh and stuff, right? So, I'm like, yeah, he worked with my sister. I'm like, I'm definitely not trying to get at him. And plus, he was, butt ugly. Okay? Butt ugly. So, me and her up there talking. Her boyfriend come up there. AKA code for... he wants some. So he was like, yeah, you know, you can help yourself to anything in the fridge that you want. Mi casa, su casa. He likes some pizza and some Pepsi down there. That's all I need to hear. Pizza and Pepsi. Sold. Took my ass downstairs, legit staring in the, got the door open and refrigerated. And I'm just staring, like, looking at the pizza, but I couldn't grab it. So then his homeboy come in there. Fuck it. His name is Darren. Darren comes in there, right? He was like, you alright? And that's when I snapped out of it. So I warm up the pizza and I'm drinking the Pepsi. I'm on the computer on my MySpace. And he comes in the room. And he was like, yo, what's good with you? And this, that, and the third. You know who I am? And I was like, yeah, you work with my sister, da, 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 da. He was like, yeah, so you already know me. So you comfortable and this, that, and the third. Touching on my thigh, squeezing on my thigh, putting his hand all in between my thighs and stuff. Making me really uncomfortable. I'm like, can you stop that? Can you get off me? I'm moving his hand and stuff. And I'm sitting there for 10 minutes going back and forth with this man. And I'm trying to ignore him and just be on my MySpace. But it got to a point when he put his hands in between my thigh and he like touched my vagina but squeezed my thigh at the same time. I signed out my damn MySpace. I was the fuck over it. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go at this point in time. So then he starts forcing himself on me, trying to take my clothes off. And I'm fighting him and I'm screaming for my friend. But she all the way on the other side of the house, up the steps on the second floor, with the door closed. So I'm screaming for her and I'm screaming for her and I'm screaming for her. And he trying to get me to be quiet. And the man was trying to rape me out. Okay, the man was trying to rape me. And I finally got him to get off me and I went out the fucking house. And when I came out the house, she was coming behind me. And she was like, what's wrong? I was like, I'm ready to fucking go. Tell that nigga drop me off at school. So I go back to school. I ain't say shit to nobody. Get out the car, slam the door. Go into school. First thing I think, not to go to class. I call my dad. I'll call him, tell him what happened. He said, this happened in school? And I was like, no, I left with my friend. He was like, oh, well then that's your fault then. It's your fault you almost got raped. 16 years old. And I'm like, Dad, are you serious? And he was like, yes, it's your fault you almost got raped. I ain't got no sympathy for you. And hung up the phone. I busted out in tears because I didn't know what the fuck to do. I didn't even tell my mama when I went home. Because like, damn, I just called my dad and that's what he got to say? Like, really? So I started hanging with two new downtown girls. One girl named Lily. And the reason why I started hanging with Lily is because she was actually dating my, at the point in time, only, well, no, I had two best friends. I forgot about CC. But my male best friend, and his name was Lynn. So she came up to me in math class, and she was like, hi, excuse me. And she was all shy and shit. I didn't even know her ass was in the class, okay? And she was like, do you know Lynn? I was like, yeah, that's my best friend. She's like, oh, well, I'm his girlfriend. And he told me to come over and say hi to you and asked me to ask you to start hanging with me because you're cool people and I need somebody to hang with. And she's like, I'm really uncomfortable asking you this. And I was like, okay, sure, fine. I'm like, I don't know this girl, but okay, if Lynn say hang with her, I'm hang with her. So me and her start hanging out, and I come to find out she was cool. I mean, she was a little boring, but she was cool, though. So, I mean, she wasn't with drama, and she wasn't a hoe, this, that, and the third. And then on top of that, she's dating my male best friend. So me and her started hanging out every day during lunch, because we had the same lunch and stuff. And we ended up forming a friendship, and then we ended up becoming best friends. So, yeah, Lily is actually the one who was homeless that I ended up bringing to stay with me and my people, and she was talking shit about me to my sister. Yeah, that's how I met her. So, the other downtown girl I was hanging with, we'll call her Nisi. Come to find out, when me and Nisi started hanging out, having conversation, I'm like, yo, she cool as fuck. She was a hodo, and I didn't know that. But yeah, she was a hodo. I think she already had one child, too, at that point in time. Yeah, I think she did. But me and her ended up having conversations about different stuff, different people that we knew, stuff that we have in common. And come to find out, Nisi was the girl when Lou got in the fight with the blood nigga. Remember I said the blood nigga walked the girl home from school and they didn't like that he did that shit? She was the girl that he walked home. I was like, this shit is crazy. Okay, this shit is crazy. Why do I keep running into people tied to this blood nigga? Okay, I can't get away from this nigga even if I tried. So me and her start hanging out. We're having fun. We're cool, but we were just school friends, though. We won't talking on the phone, hanging out outside of school, this, that, and the third. So I just remember different instances. Like, she would skip with me a lot because she needed a skipping buddy. And I remember we were skipping class together one time, and it was this dude named Derek. And I'm not changing your name because your name deserves to be out there. And he was this little short dude, had a Napoleon complex. He was popular from the hood, but he the type of dude that ain't had no morals. So we had these concession stands by the gym, and I used to sit on them sometime when I got tired of walking around the school from skipping. So me, Niecy, and I think it was somebody else, we were sitting on the concession stand, and Derek and two other dudes came up to us, started talking and shit. And Derek was like, let me talk to you around the corner right quick about something. I'm like, all right, cool, what? So I go around the corner, and as soon as I go around the corner, he pushes me up against the wall, covers my mouth, and opens up my legs, and he starts taking my belt off. I'm screaming, trying to get somebody to come help me. The man was trying to fucking rape me in school, y'all. He tried to fucking rape me in school. I'm telling him stop. I'm fighting him off of me. For him to be a little nigga, he was strong as fuck. This happened within probably 6 weeks of the last one of me almost getting raped. So when I was 16, within a month and a half, I almost got raped twice. And this nigga's telling me it's my fault because I shouldn't be so sexy. I shouldn't have put them jeans on today. I told y'all, I was skinny at the top, but I had thighs and an onion booty. So I'm screaming around the corner. I'm like, Niecy, help me. Niecy, help me. And she's like, girl, you shouldn't have went around the corner. It was another instance, me and this girl got into it in class because she was like, you always trying to buck on the teacher. I'm like, I'm not trying to buck on the teacher. She told me I could lead the class. She gave me a pass to lead the class. I'm going to take the pass. Everybody know I skip class anyway. Why not have a pass to be in the hallway? That way I don't get suspended. So Niecy was like, I know she do always be trying to buck. Bitch, who friend are you? Whose friend are you? So then I started realizing, okay, I can't really trust this bitch. So Novi and his friends decided they're going to bully me for the whole entire fucking school year. Because they're mad because I have a crush on him. And I didn't even like him anymore because once that was the reaction, I'm like, yeah, I'm good on you. So I remember one time me and Niecy are standing in the hallway talking, and these niggas start throwing biscuits at me. And one of them actually hit me like in my chest. So I remember I grabbed her arm. I was like, let's just get out of here, please. Because I ain't trying to get into no fight with no niggas. And she got mad because I grabbed her arm. And she was fussing at me. And she was like, don't be grabbing me like that and this, that, and the third. So we got into it about that. And then I remember another time, Novi and his friends was messing with me. They actually tried to throw me down the steps. Because the high school had this rule, like when you coming from lunch, you can't come all the way up the steps until the bell rings. So people would try to go up the steps so they could go ahead, go to their locker, and so they go to their next class. So we was at the top of the steps, and Novi and his homeboy that was there when I told him I had a crush on him. And it was this other guy we're going to call Keith that was there. And me and Keith was mad cool. We were friends. But he started hearing rumors about me, and he didn't want to be my friend anymore, basically. But he didn't want them to know that he still fucked with me. Because he was acting funny. He would fuck with me when won't nobody around. I didn't know people were spreading rumors like that about me and spreading these type of lies. Okay? So I remember I was talking shit to Novi because he was talking shit to me. And it started with his homeboy. And then he interjected. So now I'm going back and forth on the steps with two guys. And they talking to me like they want to fight or something. But they trying to make it seem like they joking, but I knew they weren't joking. And we really was going back and forth with each other. And Keith was standing behind me, and they was on the steps in front of me. And they just picked me up, and they flipped me back. And the only thing that was keeping me from falling down the steps, because y'all, I was head first, feet in the air, was the fact that Keith saw what they was doing, and he didn't want them to know he was helping me. He put his knee up. So my back was literally on his knee, but they did not know that. And I was holding on to his jeans, and they trying to flip me, and they were like, why she not falling? Why she not falling? And Keith was actually holding me up. And that's why I didn't fall. But if I would have fell head first down some cement steps, I'm pretty sure I would not have lived. Or it would have been a really, really bad reaction or results. So these are just some of the things that I went through. This ain't everything, but these are the ones that stick out the most to me, though. And I just remember them trying to throw me down them steps, and I was scared that I was about to die. So another thing was, I used to get suspended a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot, okay? So like going into every school year, I would always be half a school year behind my regular grade because I would get suspended a lot. So I remember one time, it was this restaurant across the street, right beside the clinic that we used to go to, and they didn't change the name of that restaurant so many times. But I just used to go over there. I used to get the chicken sandwich, but the chicken sandwich started tasting like fish because they were cooking in the same grease. So I would just get the French fries. The French fries was $1.25. I remember. Okay? I remember. 2 packets of ketchup. I was good. Okay? I was Gucci. So I remember it was me and it was like a few homegirls. Some from the neighborhood, some from downtown. It was like, we don't want that nasty ass lunch in there. We about to go across the street. Now the problem is we're not supposed to leave school. When school is in session, your ass is supposed to be on school grounds at all time. You ain't even supposed to leave out the building, or you'll get in trouble. So I've gone to this restaurant plenty of times, ain't ever got caught. We go across the street. It's like 5 of us. We go across the street. I get my French fries. They get their food. We come back. As soon as we come back, come through the door. Security guard waiting right there for us. Come on, y'all. Saunders want to see y'all. Mr. Saunders was the principal you did not fuck with. He was an old white dude. He kind of remind me of the Colonel. Okay? From, what is it, KFC? Kind of look like him a little bit. He was mean as hell. Okay, he was mean as hell. He did not like my ass. Ooh, he did not like me. He loved Ludo. My ex-boyfriend, loved him. Loved him, though. So he gave everybody 3 days to the crib for going across the street to go get some food that we paid for. So we didn't get to go to 4th block. We had to go to ISS. Me and the ISS teacher did not get along. This lady done told me, you get in trouble so much. When you grow up, you're going to be a stripper. You're going to be on drugs, or you're going to be in jail. Jeez. Way to uplift my spirits, Mrs. Washington. Proved your ass wrong. So, okay. So, we go to ISS. Me and this bitch don't get along either. Okay? Because she said that shit to me. So, me and her don't get along. Anytime I got to go see her, I'm mad. So, I'd rather give me the regular suspension. Out of school suspension. Don't give me no ISS. Me and that bitch don't get along. But, he sent us to her. First off, they moved her class. So, she in an even smaller class. There are no seats. It's standing room only. So you want me to stand up for however long 4th block is till it's time to go? No, I'm not doing that. 2, tell me something, throw your food away. I'm the last person to come in. She was like, I should have known it was you. Everybody throwing their food in the trash. I'm looking at them like, oh, y'all crazy. She said, you're not going to throw your food away? No, I'm not. I paid for this. Why would I throw away food I paid for? I already got in trouble for it. I'm going to eat my shit. Oh, but you can go back to Saunders' office. Okay, cool. Go back to Saunders' office. You got 5 days to the crib now. I got 5 days for not throwing my food away. So now I got an extra 2 days for not throwing my food away. Really? I sat right there in that damn office, open up them ketchup packets, put it right on them French fries, call my mama. Ma, I got 5 days to the crib. I'll see you when I get home. I'm about to get on the bus in a few. Got me fucked up. Okay, got me fucked up. So I also started making random guy friends again. Because, I wasn't in a relationship anymore. So I ended up making friends with some very interesting creatures. But we're not going to talk about the interesting ones. Because they have no significance to the story. But it was 3 guys that used to hang together. And they were all Crips. Now, remind you, I'm from a blood neighborhood. I've been hanging around Bloods the whole time. Even though my ex-boyfriend Lou was a Crip. Yeah, in Braceface, he was a alleged Blood. But, yeah, whatever. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Not at all. Not convinced. Try again. Not convinced. But, yeah, it was weird, though. I'm like, damn, y'all Crips, y'all cool as fuck. All I hear is bad shit about y'all. So then I started finding out Crips aren't bad people. So then I'm hanging around them and stuff. And one of them in particular, Q, he stayed in my neighborhood, but he stayed in some townhouses in my neighborhood. Or was it, I don't know, he stayed in some type of complex that was out there in my neighborhood, though. Because it's 2 that's right there beside each other. But yeah, he stayed out there. Both of them the hood, so it don't matter. It's like many hoods in a good neighborhood. I know. Yeah, whatever. So, he hits me up. what you doing? And it's Easter. I'm like, it's Easter. I'm spending time with my family. What do you think I'm doing? Like, we gonna do an Easter egg hunt? Cause my mama has an annual Easter egg hunt. Okay? Every year. It don't matter who you are, you will participate in this Easter egg hunt. Fuck you believe or not, okay? So, he was like, well, we about to come over. Who is we? He was like, me and Ron. So, him and Ron come over. And they're like, what y'all doing? Now, mind you, Q ain't my type. I'm attracted to Q. But Ron, on the other hand, Ron is everybody fucking type, okay? Ron is about 6'1". He got a 6-pack, nice arms, beautiful, 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 beautiful skin. He got like that crispy peanut butter type skin. He light skin, but he like a dark light skin. Oh, beautiful skin. And then he got these beautiful ass green eyes. So you know bitches was on him, and he got personality and a pretty smile. Bitches stayed on Ron, okay? So they came over, and I'm like, okay, Q and Ron really are in my crib right now. And they're like, what are you about to do? And I'm like, we about to dye these Easter eggs so my mama could go hide them and we do the Easter egg hunt. And they're looking at me like, really, Nina? Yes, really. That's what we do over here. Now, mind you, most of my friends, they don't have family like that, so they're not used to family functions, family dinners, stuff like that. Unless it's at grandma's house. So I was fortunate enough to live with my grandma. So my homeboy Q had to use the bathroom. He was like, let me use your bathroom. I was like, Ma, Q got to use the bathroom. She said he can use the bathroom when he dye an egg. He was like, what? She said, you can use the bathroom when you dye an egg. Because she heard them talking mess. She said, you dye an egg, you can use the bathroom. He like, I ain't dyeing no egg. Ron was like, shit, I'm dyeing all type of eggs. This shit is fun. I can make it different colors, multi-colors too. He was having fun. Q was like, I ain't dyeing no egg. She said, you can't use my bathroom then. I guess you're going to have to go outside. He was like, really? You know what this Negro did? He took the egg, dropped it in the cup. Where the bathroom at, Nina? I said, it's back there. So he go use the bathroom. And then she was like, all right, we're going to do the Easter egg hunt now. He's like, are you serious? She's dead ass. We're doing an Easter egg hunt. Here's your grocery bag. Take your ass out there. It's money in these eggs. They found out it was money in some of them eggs. Oh, they got excited. It's dollars in here. What? So we out there. My mama still got the pictures to this day of us doing the Easter egg hunt. My homeboys out there looking lost as hell. They trying to find eggs and shit. They're like, man, I got 25 cents. He's like, oh shit, I got $1. So like, it was fun and it was something different for them. So then we come in so we could pray. And we always got a lot of people over our house for the holidays. Okay, we cooks. Okay, we cooks. That's what we do. So my uncle's friend is a preacher, and he said the prayer. And this was probably the longest prayer known to mankind. When motherfuckers is ready to eat fucking Easter dinner. And we know that shit is good as hell because it's smelling good as hell. Ron squeezed my hand so damn tight. He was like, when is this nigga gonna shut the fuck up? I'm like, bruh, he usually don't be here. This is first time coming too. And how he get to say the prayer, I don't know. I'm like, Ron, just roll with it. Okay? So they say the prayer. We got our own little table. We eat dinner. Bria's there. Bria get to flirting with Ron. I did not know my cousin had whole tendencies until now. So, yeah, because like this is like the 6th homeboy we on now. But Ron didn't want her. Ron wanted me. Ron wanted me. And then the interesting thing is they got another homeboy named JR. And they all came from a different high school. The high school that Cece went to. So JR is fine too. He just as fine as Ron. But JR is shorter and he got hazel eyes. Same complexion though. And he had this pretty long locks. Y'all call them dreadlocks. But locks. Beautiful. And then his hair wasn't black hair either. And when I say black hair, I mean it wasn't this color. His hair was like a lighter type of color. Like his hair was beautiful. It was like light brown. So he was fine. But all the bitches was on his ass. And he was trying to talk to me. But then I found out he used to talk to Cece, so I deaded that shit. And then I was talking to him one time in the hallway, and he had a hickey on his neck. I was like, you just nasty. Okay, you just nasty. He was like, you know, I'm trying to talk to you for real, though. I really like you, and da-da-da-da. Nah, I'm good. But Ron liked me, but he didn't want to cross the line, because he know me and JR used to talk. So, after dinner, we bored, so we go to my room. Bria's dad lives with us. He's mad because I closed the door. No. It ain't no closed doors in here. We ain't doing that. All right, fine, whatever. I guess when you get your own house, then maybe you should make your own rules. But you never had your own house, sir. And you're in, like, your late 50s. But anyway, growth. So we got the door open. We bored. So we got the little plastic eggs and stuff. So me and Q sitting on my bed, and my sister's bed is on the other side of the room. So Bria and Ron are sitting on her bed. So we decided to come up with this little fake ass game. Basically, we throwing eggs at each other. So we just trying to. It's no point to the game. We just whoever gets tired of throwing eggs first, the other people win. So we throwing eggs and stuff. And Ron had the eggs in his lap. Now, a lot of people probably say, oh, it was an accident. This wasn't a fucking accident because this bitch was doing all types of sexual shit trying to get him to notice her. She on the floor counting eggs. She on all fours and stripper poses and shit. And Ron looking at her like, nah. She reaches in his lap to grab the eggs. And I saw her go like that. And he was like, she grabbed his damn dick. She claimed it was an accident. When I talked to Ron later on, he said, Nina, that shit was no accident. This bitch sexually assaulted my friend. Pissed. I was pissed. So, yeah. So, after that, Ron was uncomfortable and they wanted to leave, basically. So, we sat on the porch for a little bit. And I'm like, Ron, why is your shirt turned inside out? And he was like, oh, because I got barbecue sauce on it. And then it clicked 5 minutes later. You just ate a whole plate at my crib, but you got your shirt turned inside out because you got barbecue sauce on it. We ain't had no barbecue sauce. I said, so you ate already? He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah. Uncle had the cookout. We came over here, got the regular plate. Now we about to go to Q house, Q grandma house to go get dessert. I said, ain't this some shit? Ain't this some shit? So then they leave. I go to school the next day. I wake up. I'm sick. I'm thinking it's just allergies. Now I had a cold. So I go to school. I go to first block. I'm feeling good. Second block, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go to the nurse. So I go ahead and call my mama. So she come get me. Now, everybody in school knows I skip, including the nurses. We have a white nurse and we have a black nurse. The black nurse is awesome. She's sweet. She's understanding. She's patient. The white nurse is mean. She's cranky. She's older. Like, okay. So I didn't know which one was in there. But I have a note to go to the nurse whenever I feel I need to go to the nurse because I have low blood pressure. So I can go whenever. And the teacher has to give me a pass. The nurse has to let me in. They know that. So I skipped second block. Didn't have no pass. I go to the nurse. 2 of my homeboys are sitting in there, including Q. So Q must have been the one who got me sick. I never thought about that shit. Cause Q was sitting in there because he was sick. And then another homeboy that I rode the bus with, he was sitting in there. And then it was a couple other people in there, but I won't pay them no mind. I won't pay nobody no fucking mind in there, for real. I was just trying to come in. My eyes was running, nose running. Like, just, it was just bad, y'all. It was bad. And you could see I was sick. You could tell I was sick. You could hear I was sick, okay? I come in there. It's the white nurse. She don't want to let me through the door. Where's your pass? I don't have one. I don't feel good. Where's your pass? You could tell I don't feel good. So me and her going back and forth, and I put my foot in the door because she was trying to close the door, and I'm like, I don't feel good. I just want you to check my temperature and stuff so I could call my mama and go home. She closed the door on my foot. Nina being Nina, first thing I said out my mouth, bitch! First thing I said out my mouth. I go to the cafeteria, call my mama. She said, I'm coming to get you. I put my head down. She come get me. I missed probably 3 days of school. I missed 2 days of school. That's what it was. And I come back. The security guard was like, come on, Nina. You got 3 days to the crib. I said, for what? Because everybody excited to see me. They're like, Nina, girl, where you been? Da, 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 da. So I'm saying hi to everybody and stuff. I'm at my locker. As soon as I shut my locker, here comes the security guard. Come on, Nina. You got 3 days to the crib. But what? You called the nurse a bitch. I said, are you serious? Kind of find out when I talked to Q and the homeboy that ride the bus with me, the retarded boy snitched on me. The nurse ain't even hear me call her a bitch. The retarded boy told her I called her a bitch. And she told the goddamn principal. And they gave me 3 days. And if you thought that shit was bad, I remember one time I got suspended twice in 1 week. You heard me. Twice in 1 week. I got suspended on Monday, got 3 days, came back Friday, got reinstated first block Friday, and fourth block Friday, I was right back in that office getting suspended again. Yeah, I got suspended a lot. So I remember after the ISS teacher told me basically I wasn't going to be nothing but a stripper in jail or on drugs, I was like, you know what? I'm going to prove this bitch wrong. Because I'm tired of teachers telling me who don't know me that, oh, you ain't never going to be shit because how you acting now. And you don't even fucking know that. And I want something more for my life, but just not this shit. High school was hell. So I wanted to prove a fucking point. I said, I'm going to graduate from high school. So I started going to class. I stopped skipping class. Started going to class. I'm getting good grades, A's and B's and shit. A few C's. Okay, I'm not going to lie, a few C's. But mostly A's and B's. Like, I was doing good. And I was on the road to graduation. I was even going to graduate on time. And I remember after going through all of this shit that I have gone through, I was in English class. And one of my homeboys was staring at me. And I remember I had another homeboy that was sitting over there. And he was listening to my CD player. Because I should have been a DJ, okay? My music be rocking. My little mix CDs I be making. Even my YouTube playlist. Y'all be telling me too. That Virgo Garden playlist be rocking. I missed my calling as a DJ. I swear I did, okay? So my homeboy was over there listening. He listening to my CD player. He doing dances and shit in the seat all like this. And I'm laughing at him. And me and the other homeboys talking. And he just got silent. So I'm doing my work and I'm talking to the other one that was listening to the music and shit. And like we just talking about regular shit and my mindset on certain things. And that's what I hear a lot from dudes. That's like one of the sexiest things about me is my mindset. So he just broke out of nowhere. He was staring at me and I'm like, why is he staring at me for? Like an uncomfortable stare. And he was like, Nina, I just want to eat your pussy so bad. I was like, what? I'm looking at my homeboy. He was like, he got about the desk and walked across the room. I was like, don't leave me over here. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And even though he didn't mean any harm by saying that, 'cause he really is a sweet dude. He really is a good guy. He come from a respectable family. Even though I know he don't look at me just as a sexual object, but how that affected me is like all I am to guys is a sexual object. So I'm thinking that's all men want from me. So that added even more onto my inner child healing. So, alright, babies, I'm your girl, Virgo Garden. If you didn't know this shit, I bet you know this shit now. How to follow me, how to book me, and how to get my wonderful, beautiful, amazing products that you all love so much will be down below in the description box. Whew. I made it through. It took me damn near a month to write this shit, y'all. The notes and stuff. 11th grade was hell. I really shortened that shit up. I really gave y'all pinpoints. I'm sorry if it was a little boring. But I had to get that shit out. And I was kind of rushing through it. But I knew it was something I had to get done. 11th grade is the year that fucked me up. For sure. It fucked me up. How I used to interact with people has changed. How I looked at love started changing. How I looked at my parents started changing. How I looked at people in authority started changing. So, 11th grade damn sure was the worst year. But something I do want to add on is, because I want to make sure I don't forget to throw this in there. I am aware that on my Virgo Garden Facebook page, there is people who know me personally, people who I went to school with, and people who live in my area that watch the clips that I put up there. I get that y'all might not like the stories that you hear about some of the people that you know I'm talking about, or even if it's about you. You might not like it. That's cool. This is my story. This is my truth. This is what happened to me. I have no need to get up here and make shit up for people. I have no need to get up here and try to exaggerate shit to make shit sound more interesting. I understand people grow and change, okay? Some of the people in high school are not the same people that they were. I am not the same person that I was 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago. People grow and change. I get that. If you hear a story about you up here and you don't like it, it happened. What you want me to do about it? It happened. You did it to me. It happened. We can discuss it. If you could be an adult about it, yes, we can discuss it. Because I've definitely seen some of the statuses. I've definitely seen, I've seen the shit. Okay? Don't think I ain't see it just because I ain't say nothing. I've seen it. Okay? I am in therapy. I am getting the help that I need. I'm also working on my spiritual healing, which is what I do with my spiritual practice. All I ask is you respect it. If you are concerned about my mental health because you're listening to the clips, it's very simple for you to inbox me if you're really that damn concerned. You don't got to make a Facebook status about me. I have grown a lot and matured a lot as a person. I'll say that. Okay? So I'm aware that some of these people that I'm telling these stories about have grown and changed from who they were. I mean, we were in high school. Okay, I get it. And one person in particular, I want to make sure I clear their name. And this is actually a testimony to people can grow. It's my ex-boyfriend, Lou. Because for the rest of the stories I have for y'all, he's not going to come back up except for one more time. And I just want to make sure I put this part in here so y'all do know. I was in my mid-20s and he tried to add me on Facebook. I deleted it a few times, his friend request. And he kept adding me. So I finally inboxed him and I said, what do you want? Because that's what I usually do when somebody from high school try to add me now. Because I don't know why y'all trying to be my fucking friend for. We weren't friends in high school. I'm not friends with anybody from fucking high school anymore. Because y'all want my real fucking friends anyway. So, what do you want? We don't have to be Facebook friends just because we went to high school together. What do you want? And he was like, I just want to add you and see how you been doing. And he was explaining to me, he was like, Nina, I've changed and I've grown a lot as a person. I'm not the person I was in high school. And that man said, I apologize, Nina. I apologize for everything that I took you through. You did not deserve it. You are a good woman. And I forgave him. And we've been cool, as far as I know, ever since. We've been cool ever since. I don't have no issue with him. Out of all of my exes, he is the one I have the most respect for because I actually saw his growth. I see his growth. He's actually trying to be a better person. He actually is doing it every day. So to my ex-boyfriend, Lou, there is no hard feelings. And I know we already had the conversation. And I just want you to know I'm not mad at you just because I'm telling these stories. Or to anybody who does watch it and you know I'm talking about you in these videos, whether it be the couch talk or the Sunday and mimosas, I'm not mad at you. I'm healing. In order for me to heal, I have to fucking talk about it. Thank you to the Facebook therapists who think that they can diagnose me off of a small little clip. I'm just saying. But to my ex, Lou, I'm not mad at you. I know you've grown as a person. We already had the conversation. But I have to have these conversations on camera to show the people who do follow me and who do fuck with me and who do learn from me and who are healing because they follow me. This is what I went through and this is how I got through it. This is how it affected me and this is what I learned from it. So respect what I do. Thank you. Love you, babies. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Mwah.